What do you think? Are you concerned about this? Because it's the biggest headache we have here.
Not really, because as I mentioned earlier, when the airlines now come up with this customer service desks at all airports they operate into, they resolve their problems at their own end. Let me give you an example of one of the biggest carriers we have in this country. I noticed that all of a sudden, within a period of 2 months, 3 months, they improved tremendously. The number of complaints we used to get over them dropped drastically by about 50–70%. What was the secret behind it? Because they established a very strong and viable customer service department. And they gave them authority to take decisions. Decisions such as, if this flight is delayed for 1 hour and above, and the law says, give all the passengers refreshment. The manager is free to do that. They don't look at the cost. If it's delayed beyond 2 hours, refund everybody their ticket money, allow them to go and buy other tickets from other airlines.
If we're waiting for a particular flight,
yes,
and it's delayed for 1 hour,
yes,
so wherever we are waiting,
yeah,
they are mandated to come and give us refreshments there. That's what the law says.
That's the law. After 2 hours, they're supposed to refund you the cost of your ticket, so that you can take another flight and go.
I really hope this will work out, because when the new minister came on, I remember then she said, well, for any delay, such airline will be sanctioned, and we saw a kind of improvement in their takeoff time. But after a while, they went back to business as usual. Now with this law, how can we actually follow it through and through?
It cannot be business as usual now, because if we had teeth and we could only bark before, now we can bite. So there are serious sanctions apart from what you give to the passenger as sanctions, such as the 25% cost of ticket you have to give in case of cancellations, the 30% you have to give on national routes. There are also sanctions that if you fail to do that, now NCA comes in. There are administrative hearings which will now confirm. And if you are held liable, the sanctions will apply to you and the penalty would be applied on you. Penalties for airlines range from the minimum of 500,000 to a maximum of 5 million naira. Nobody will be willing to pay that kind of money, not with the kind of margin that airlines make as profit. So therefore, these laws are really deterrents, and we believe they are going to work.
How do you approach ticket pricing at the counter? Because this minute you buy for a particular price, the same class, you come in for the next 5 minutes, it's changed, the same airline.
Ticketing in Nigeria is deregulated. What happens is, if you can plan, buy your ticket online, buy your ticket 1 week, 2 weeks before your scheduled time of flight, you find out that you buy your ticket maybe 50%. But if you don't, and you happen to have to travel at short notice, and you have to go to the counter to buy your ticket, the next person to you may buy his ticket at a lower rate, maybe 1,000, 2,000 naira lower than you, because as of then, the time to flight time is getting closer, so the price of ticket would get higher. Yeah, and it is normal practice all over the world. So we have also deregulated it, and we have accepted the international norms. There's nothing like Nigerian aviation. Aviation is international business, and the rules and the guidelines as spelled out by ICAO apply everywhere in the world. So whatever is allowed elsewhere, we have to allow here.
How did you achieve this huge success with curbing pilfering of luggage? Because then it used to be the in thing, but quite frankly, lately it has actually reduced.
It has. CCTV cameras have helped in that if you have CCTV cameras that cover the period from the time you check in your bag up to the time it gets onto the aircraft, and the people who work there know that they are being watched, that tends to be a deterrent to them. That is, I would say, the most viable way that we have followed to do that. But then education and training, retraining has also helped in that once you sit people down and work on their emotions and tell them that, look, what you are doing is you are creating a bad image for your country. And it is bad enough for a person to come into the country and his baggage is delayed. But then by the time he finds out that it is also pilfered, it makes it even worse. So people tend to get trained and understand that the things are not good for the industry. And when you catch 1 or 2 bad eggs and put the hammer, you find out that it works as a good deterrent also, and things have been looking up, I would say.
Well, Milari here likes to know, says, what's the maximum period the airline is allowed to search for missing luggage before negotiation begins?
It's 14 days,
14
weeks, yes.
Okay. Joseph says, please can the NCAA personnel give us the complaints mail address because one of their sites is invalid. I don't know which one he checked, but already they're trying to reach you. But now your personnel will be at the airports.
Yes, we are in all airports, and we're going to have stands in departure lounges and arrival halls all over, in all airports in the country. We are still there. We are on CPU, NCAA, at gov.ng.
Okay, so there you go. Look out for them at the airports as well, and there'll be jingles, commercials, inserts in the papers, you say. So you need to look out so you know what your right is, because the airlines are expected to also display them upon the posts. So thank you for coming on this morning. Adamu Abdullahi is the Director, Consumer Protection of the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority. We're back in just a moment here. Please join us again. All right, welcome back. Excuse me. Let's run through some comments coming from you. Ini, writing in from Sudan, says, talking about airline efficiency, why do the authorities humiliate local passengers with the outdated policy of identifying luggage on the tarmac? Well, we didn't see this earlier.
Well, this is from Olushola, and he says, it is great news that regulations are being put in place now. We hope it gets sustained. I wonder if the free use of goods trolleys at our airports by passenger is also considered.
Okay, then Musa, tweeting about the Constitution, says, married persons under 18 should have this special right because citizenship by marriage is the peculiar right of the married woman. Well,
Adima, when people talk about oil theft, they make it sound like an oil tanker is a pair of shoes that can be hidden in a bag.
You never know, Adima. You never know. Okay, then, well, that's it today. We'll thank you all for watching. And for your comments, too, I encourage you to keep them coming. We'll see you next time. I'm Chamberlain.
I'm Sulaiman Alede.